I'll do it on this side now. Okay? Okay, they fall to the opposite side because they're not able to abduct their bodies. Right? So I'll do this exaggerated. Plant, abduct. Plant, abduct. Plant, abduct. Right? I walk like a robot. All right. So why is that important? I have to when I plant and transfer, I have to abduct in order to swing my leg on the other side so that it can plant, and then I've got to abduct so I can swing my leg to the other side, right? So the abduction of gluteus medius is really, really important. The second muscle that I think is the most important is the tibialis anterior, which is the dorsiflexor, right? So after I plant and I abduct, I've got to swing my leg all the way this way through the swing phase. But what if I don't dorsiflex? What if I don't do this? What happens is I drag my foot all the way down, and I'm not able to complete the swing phase. So somebody who has what's called drop foot, or the inability to dorsiflex, does this. That's called drop foot, because they're not able to swing all the way through. You can't clear without actually dorsiflexing your ankle. Come down. Okay? All right, so those are two important lower limb muscles. We can do the same thing. Can you scroll up to, or scroll down to upper limb? Yeah, you got it. Okay. So, for the upper limb, we can do the same thing. I won't go over all the attachments and everything. But I personally love the radial tuberosity. It's the coolest place. Right? So, we have 4 compartments here, plus the hand. So upper limb's much easier, because we're only dealing with 4 compartments. We have the anterior compartment of the arm, posterior compartment of the arm, anterior forearm, posterior forearm, hand. That's it. Okay? So here are the actions. Flexion of the fingers, flexion of the thumb, flexion of the wrist, flexion of the elbow, flexion of the shoulder, and then 4 extensions. Extension of the shoulder, extension of the elbow, extension of the wrist, extension of the fingers. And then abduction, and then adduction. All right? So let's do the actions together, then we'll do them by compartments, okay? So, flexion of fingers 2 through 5. That's these guys. Oh, I forgot. Did I forget the thumb? I did forget it. No? Okay. I didn't do the thumb, or I didn't do it?
You did it.
Forget the thumb.
You did it.
Great, thank you. Okay. All right. So flexion of these fingers. So flexion of the fingers.
Flexion of the fingers.
Thank you. Okay. Flexion of the thumb.
Flexion of the thumb.
Flexion of the wrist.
Flexion of the wrist.
Flexion of the elbow.
Flexion of the elbow.
Flexion of the shoulder.
Flexion of the shoulder.
And then 4 extensions. Extension of the shoulder.
Extension of the shoulder.
Extension of the elbow.
Extension of the elbow.
Extension of the wrist.
Extension of the wrist.
Extension of the fingers.
Extension of the fingers.
Abduction.
Abduction.
And adduction.
Adduction.
Okay. So those are the actions. Now the compartments that are associated with them. For flexion of the fingers, the compartment is anterior forearm. Okay? For flexion of the thumb, it's thenar eminence. It's just the thumb. Right? Very different. Flexion of the wrist is anterior forearm. Flexion of the elbow is anterior arm. Flexion of the shoulder is anterior arm. And then our 4 extensions, posterior arm, posterior arm, posterior forearm, posterior forearm, then shoulder, and then superficial back. Okay? So let's go over the actions together. Ready? Fingers 2 through 5. Anterior forearm.
Anterior forearm.
Thenar eminence.
Thenar eminence.
Anterior forearm.
Anterior forearm.
Anterior arm.
Anterior arm.
Anterior shoulder.
Anterior shoulder.
Posterior arm.
Posterior arm.
Posterior arm.
Posterior arm.
Posterior forearm.
Posterior forearm.
Posterior forearm.
Posterior forearm.
Shoulder.
Shoulder.
Superficial back.
Superficial back.
Okay? So again, you can go over all both attachments for the muscles in those different joints in order to get your actions. Make sense? All right, very good. So let me show you some common injuries now. Thanks, guys. You can move the skeleton. So, all right. So I'm a left-handed batter here, okay? And I'm at my stance right here. Now I'm going to test the water, so to speak. It's a put my weight on my back foot. What are the compartments that are doing something right now? On my left lower limb. So anterior compartment, what is it doing? It's stabilizing my knee, right? Now, all muscles have to have an antagonistic compartment, or all compartments have to have an antagonistic compartment. So if I'm using my anterior compartment of my thigh here to stabilize my knee, I have to be using my posterior compartment of the thigh to stabilize my anterior compartment. Otherwise, I would do this, right, every single time. So I need to contract this to flex my knee and contract this to extend my knee. See how I'm balancing like this? I'm bouncing back and forth between those compartments. What other compartment am I using as I'm standing like this? Gluteus compartment. Very good. I'm trying to abduct my weight this way. What else am I using? Anterior leg. Okay. Posterior leg. Basically all of them, right? I'm everting, so I'm using all my compartments because they all have to be antagonistic relative to one another. Okay. So now I transfer my weight. I swing. I shift my hips. What compartments am I using? What's one? Gluteus. Okay. So I'm shifting my hip this way. What else am I using? Lateral compartment of my leg, right? Because I've got to evert to be able to push off. Okay. Medial compartment of the thigh. All right. And then everything else, really, in order, and then I swing. Right now, so here, look at my arms. What are my arms doing? What compartment of my arm am I using here? Anterior, posterior, anterior, posterior. I'm using all those compartments in order to do the entire action. That's just my left side, right? Same thing's happening on my right side. So, okay, good. So here's a common injury. All right, so I've got my golf club here. I come through like this. All right, I'm using my hips to turn. You can see that. And then as I come through this way, notice, look at my lateral epicondyle. All the attachments of the anterior forearm are on the lateral, medial epicondyle, right here. Okay? So I come through here, look at all the stress right here. I come through, hit the ball, boom, all that stress is there, and then I pronate there. So golfer's elbow is right here. As you're coming through, that medial epicondyle, the muscles there tear, because you're putting so much force right here in that swing. In tennis, you can also get medial epicondylitis by what swing?
Backswing.
Medial epicondylitis. Forearm. Okay? So I'm coming through here, right here. Look at all the stress right here, right, on my anterior forearm muscles, right here. Okay? So you can get tennis elbow this way, but I can also get tennis elbow with a backhand that I snap the lateral epicondylitis muscle, lateral epicondyle muscles, the posterior forearm this way. A bad backhand, you'll get tennis elbow here. Okay? So, right here. And then, oh yeah. What's another sport where you can get medial epicondylitis? Or tearing of the muscles of the anterior forearm?
Baseball.
Baseball. Pitching. Very good. Okay, so I come through here. Look at the stress right here. Right? A lot of stress as I come through and I pronate like this. Right? So, anterior compartment of the forearm attaches here. Lateral or posterior compartment of the forearm attaches here. And because my motions are lateral and I'm pronating and supinating, I can tear those muscles very easily on either side if I use proper mechanics. You ever seen a picture of Steven Strasberg? Picture for the Nationals? He's just ugly. He just comes like this. I mean, it's just inhuman what you can see there. Okay, so those are some examples of how we use compartments, attachments, muscles, actions throughout the body. In the remaining time, I want to go over part of the exam.